Ever since I was younger, I was into video games.
Somebody like the fuse so I can bring bad news to all these crews who can't NBA jam with the shoe.
Hey everybody, welcome back to a quick beer review. Doing some more old school West Coast style IPA goodness. Courtesy of my man Dennis. I appreciate the assist, my friend. From Fatheads. I am a big Fatheads fan. They are in, I think they're in Pittsburgh, they're in Ohio, they're all over the Midwest. This is Imperial Headhunter, and this is super cool because Standard Headhunter, I think, was like the second or third beer I ever reviewed on my channel way back when, like 2014. So, yeah, first experience Fatheads over 10 years ago. Visited some family out in Akron, and my cousin introduced me to them. I'm like, this beer is awesome. They used to be out in Portland. My wife and I did a 10-year anniversary trip out there. When was that? That was 7 years ago. And they were out there, and we hit up a bunch of breweries in Portland. Portland's an awesome beer town. But we ended up spending the most time at Fathead. We went like back 3 times, I think. And I think it's because all their West Coast IPAs were so awesome. I just loved it. So, yeah, this is Imperial Headhunter. It is 9.5% alcohol by volume. Holy smokes. Triple IPA range, 95 IBUs it says. I love that they're still putting the IBUs on the cans. That's old school. Canned on November 10th, so we are about 6 weeks in the can. Should be fine. Hashtag Team Old IPA. I was in Akron again in 2018. I've talked about it, and they had a session IPA. I think it was session IPA called Imperial Daydream or something like that. I drank the shit out of that beer while I was there. I loved it. So, I don't know how this is different than they used to do Hop Juju, which another beer that I loved. That was also 9.5%. I don't know how this is different than that beer. Maybe this is just the Headhunter beer. Headhunter's like their flagship IPA, right? I can't remember. Maybe just dialed up from, I think that beer is like 7% instead of 9.5%. I'm not 100% sure, but yeah. Hop Juju, I remember loving. I loved that beer. So let's get into this one. This is a cool kind of like a lightish copper color. It's not, I guarantee it looks really, really dark on camera. It's like a cool, like deep orange. Almost 2 fingers, a fluffy, bright white head. Look at the head on that for almost 10% beer. Looks great. There's a chill haze on this. The can says it's unfiltered, but I can see my finger through the glass. But it looks awesome. I appreciate the 12-ounce format for a 9.5% beer. Let's see what this smells like. Ooh, this smells like hop candy. I think part of that is the 9.5% that we're smelling, but this is super tropical stone fruity. I mean, for being... What is the date today? Today's December 29th. This was canned, what did we say? November 10th? So what is that? Is that 6 weeks? 7 weeks? For being, 6 to 7 weeks in the can, it is still like explosively hoppy, very juicy smelling. I mean, there is a sweetness to it, just like that white kind of bready sweetness, sourdough bread crust, I always say. But you'd expect that for almost 10%. This is like peachy, nectarine-y. There's a good amount of like sweet, I think it's tangerine. Sweet citrus. Maybe some grapefruit, but this is much more tropical than like pithy citrus. Smells awesome. Let's go and taste it. Dennis, cheers. Thanks, bro. He also sent me some like variants of stuff, so we're going to be drinking some Fatheads. I'm stoked. It says 95 IBUs on the can. That is a aggressively hoppy beer. Super pithy, grapefruit rind, orange peel right on the middle of your tongue. I will say I was expecting it for as like bitter as it was when it first hit my tongue. I was expecting it to kind of stay and linger, and surprisingly it doesn't. After that like initial smack of hops on your tongue, it moves on to this rad like wave of sweet tropical, that stone fruity, sweet tangerine-y, almost a mango thing too. But yeah, right at the front of your tongue, it is super hoppy, But like we were smelling, it's hop candy. Yeah, and the bitterness is rad. Like, it's pretty cool how you just feel it like on the front of your tongue to the middle, and then it stops. And then it goes, oh, it's going to be sweet, fruity, and it's even a little chewy. It does not taste boozy, which is nuts. 9.5%, that's crazy. These beers could get you in trouble for sure. I would guess that dead fresh, this beer was like intensely hoppy, and it might have gotten to where that's like that tongue numbingly kind of hoppy, because it's still extremely hoppy, even at the age that it's at. But good stuff. Crazy drinkable for 9.5%. I think that sweetness on the finish just helps with all that crazy bitterness that you get on the front of your tongue. This is old school for sure. Reminds me of like the early, you know what this reminds me of kind of is, I mean, it's been forever since I've had that beer, but just thinking back, it reminds me of when Stone used to do Ruin 10. Kind of in that vein, because that beer I think was 10.5%. This is 9.5%, so right in that same ballpark. But yeah, just tons and tons of hops with a nice showcase of stone fruity, citrusy goodness. So this is really good. I mean, this isn't something I'd be drinking all the time just because I'm not a 10% IPA guy anymore, but fun to have for sure. I'm super pumped now to drink all the rest of the Fathead beer that Dennis sent. So appreciate you sharing this one, my friend. That is Imperial Headhunter from Fathead. I didn't actually read, like, it's Middleburg Heights, Ohio. Aren't they they're in Pennsylvania too, aren't they? Pittsburgh, right? I thought so. Anyways, do you guys have this one? Let's talk about it. You guys fans of Fatheads? I hope they're still kind of popular back there. So I'm telling you, man, I love the time that I spent at the one in Portland. So that's it. I'm out here. Appreciate you guys watching. See you soon. Cheers.
Thank you for coming behind the bar, in the arcade, all that shit.
Ever since I was younger, I was into video games.
Somebody like the fuse so I can bring bad news to all these crews who can't